Hey everybody, Jack Carmody here. Been a while since I've posted a video to the channel, so I thought I would make one real quick as I had a bit of a break in my schedule. So today I wanted to talk about career transitions and life transitions, particularly as it revolves around work and family. And this is just an interesting example. If you follow pro football, Sean McVay is a coach of the Los Angeles Rams. About said St. Louis Rams, but they are no longer in St. Louis. They're in Los Angeles. They just won the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, and after the Super Bowl, the question came out. Sean McVay was asked, would he continue coaching the team or would he explore other options? And this question came out because McVay has coached the Rams for, 5 or 6 years at this point. And he's obviously reached the highest of his profession. He's won a Super Bowl. Took the Rams to the Super Bowl a few years ago, but won it this go round. And McVay is about to go into a different season of life because he's getting married. And so he was asked around the time of the Super Bowl, look, are you going to keep coaching? And McVay just said, look, I'm starting a family. I'm getting married. We want to have children. And he's thinking about this the right way. Here's a major life transition that's happening with his family, starting a family. How does that affect his profession? How does that affect his coaching career? And he has just announced that the Rams he's gonna run it back with them this next season and will not pursue broadcasting or won't pursue other options. He's gonna coach the Rams this next season. But I think there's a good chance to talk about how do we navigate that. How do we navigate our demanding career in the face of starting a family, in the face of family concerns? So I think he's right to ask the question. The level of work and just hours he puts into coaching the Rams that have got him to the highest levels of success that you can get, is that sustainable given he wants to start a family? Will he be shortchanging his family if he continues at this pace? So it's a great question. I want to make the case first that Sean McVay should retire from coaching, that is the best path forward for him if he wants to start a family. Then I'm going to make the case that he should absolutely not retire, and I'll make the case that he shouldn't retire. Maybe he should make some other changes instead. And then I'm going to close with the idea that maybe this is a complex situation. So why do I think he should retire? If you look a couple years ago, I saw a video, kind of a day in the life video, and I'll post the link below. But it's interesting. I enjoy seeing the work habits of other people. And the day in the life video has him in his car at 4 a.m. So at 4 a.m. he's headed to the Rams practice facility. That goes through his whole day, and then it shows him getting back home like at 7:15 or 7:30 or something like that. So that's a 4 a.m. in the car headed to practice, home 7:15, 7:30, whatever it was. Hard to imagine that kind of schedule being conducive to family life. I mean, it's hard to imagine you being really able to carve out time for your family when you're really you're not seeing them during the week, and obviously football, it's a 7-day-a-week sport, especially if you're a coach. So again, it's hard to imagine him being able to really start a family and being able to put the time into his family and still be able to coach the Rams at a high level. Not just do it okay, but do it to the extent that he wants to, and to be able to put the Rams in a position to win. So from that angle, I think he should absolutely retire and take a less demanding career because he's just never going to see his family. I mean, you think about it, you got a little kid at home. They're going to bed at 7:30. And he's just rolling in at 7:30, and he's not seeing him in the morning because he's out the door at 4. So from that angle, I think he should absolutely retire, and that it's hard to imagine that schedule being conducive to family life. So that's argument that he should retire. Argument that he shouldn't retire is this, that Sean McVay is an incredibly driven person and wants to succeed in whatever he does. So the argument against him retiring is that whatever he ends up doing next, whether it's broadcasting or whether it's flipping burgers at McDonald's, he will take that same drive and passion and energy into whatever his next career is. And it doesn't matter if it's broadcasting or whatever, he will find a way to make the job where he has to roll out at 4 and roll back in at 7. And that's the argument against retiring, that it doesn't matter what other job he does, he's whatever perspective he has on his current job, he's going to take it to this next job. And this John Deloney, Dr. John Ramsey personality, really helped form my opinion on this. And he's got a great quote where he says, think about a transition. And he says, basically, if you move on to a new relationship or new job, whatever it is you're moving on to, remember that you go with you. Remember that you go with you in this transition. So Sean McVay can switch jobs, can do whatever, but he's going to go with him. And so it's not really about the job. It's about changes that McVay has to make to his own life-work balance. It doesn't matter if he is doing a high-pressure coaching job, or it doesn't matter if he is, a greeter at Walmart. If he's got that perspective, that drive, it's gonna, not much is gonna change whatever job he has. And I think that's really the question. It's not about the job, whether that's sustainable for him and his family. It's him personally and the balance that he has. That's the real issue. So that's the argument against that he shouldn't retire. That he's got to do some internal work first and be able to get a better balance with his time and with his energy. That's the argument against retiring. And as I close, here's the really tricky part, and I don't know what to do with this, but there is a perspective out there in the personality sphere that says some people are just wired to work and go all out all the time. Maybe that's McVay, I don't know. The perspective out there about that is that if people like that are wired that way and they're not doing that, to deprive them of that, you are like kind of sucking their life force out of them. And they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be fulfilled if they are not just killing it in their career. So what makes this tricky is that if McVay is like that and he says, no, I'm gonna retire, or I'm gonna really not focus on my career at all, and it's gonna be all in with the family, there's this perspective would say that he's not gonna be able to do that. He can't shut it off. It's something hardwired into his personality where he's gotta have goals, he's gotta have career, he's gotta have that to shoot for. And in a sense, that fuels him, and to deprive him of that would be to cut the legs out from under him, and he wouldn't be able to function in that way. I don't know if that's true, McVay, and I don't know that I necessarily buy that argument, but it's one that's out there, and I think it's one that deserves at least some discussion. So anyway, that's just my take on this whole situation. Again, what McVay does or doesn't do, it's beyond something we really can have that much stake in. But I do think it's helpful to think through these things for your transitions and for mine, and to know that you got to think about it. What's best for you? What's best for your family? How do you balance these things? Is a change in scenery necessarily going to change your situation? Going to change the outcome? Is there internal work you need to do, irrespective of these external things, whether it's a job, relationship, city, what have you? So hope that's helpful. Again, sorry it's been a while since we posted a video, but had a few minutes, thought I would post one. Out for now, and we'll see y'all next time.